It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the RAWDOWN, the #1 source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am your host, Young Anthony, and I am joined by my co-host, the MVP Marco of the Chick Foley Show. J-Bone is not here this week. We hope he's doing well. But we're going to do it at two-man. We've got Money in the Bank predictions this week.
Yeah, buddy.
Big episode for us. J-Bone sent in his picks, so we'll sort of read those. But Marco, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing just life couldn't be better. I just don't it's just great. It just wait, what the hell?
What the hell? All right, I don't know what happened there. Marco seems to have left. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Marco is gone, and I think our feed is getting interrupted. What the fuck is going on? What the hell are you doing here?
And now, the RAWDOWN presents the crowning ceremony for the RAWDOWN Championship.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
I thought you said you weren't going to be here this week.
The century is here, baby.
Oh my God.
It is I, the one and the only Boney in the Bank. Yes, I have held this thing for 365 days, only to use it right here, but right before Money in the Bank preview.
The last opportunity. He cashes in his Money in the Bank.
And I am now your RAWDOWN champion. Yes, I hopped over to Massachusetts and back down here to Louisiana.
I know, that was quick.
Hey, got to do what I got to do, The technology these days, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Well, I don't know how you did that. And I don't know where Marco is. I don't know what the hell you did with him, but I guess we're going to have to roll on the show without him. So let's get into these Money in the Bank. Now he's back. I don't understand what the hell's going on. Marco, are you okay?
Oh, I don't know what the hell. Oh, what's going on? Oh,
well, I see a little
Look
bit
what
of
I got here, pal.
So
God, jeez. Oh, he took. Oh, God, that's what it was. I thought he left Massachusetts. He never left.
Damn, he didn't even know what happened to him.
He was waiting in the wings the whole time.
You just got
Son of a bitch.
You just got your shit stolen, son.
I hate J-Bone. I hate J-Bone.
Jesus.
Oh,
what a way to kick off our Money in the Bank preview show with our very own Money in the Bank cash in a year in the making this morning.
Man.
Wait in the wings, baby,
Well, here is an official title change here on the RAWDOWN.
Live on the RAWDOWN. First time ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Well, more importantly, reunited is the three of us. This is our first episode back together in what?
Yeah,
4
buddy.
weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah. I had to take a couple weeks off. Of course, I was traveling in the Northeast, and great meeting you guys. It was a blast, and yeah. So, but we're here. We're back. We're back.
Yeah,
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Well, before we get into the episode, J-Bone, how was your New York experience? Was it everything you ever wanted and more?
It was pretty awesome. Of course, we did. We went to New York first and did that for a few days. Hopped over to Long Island, went to the Wrestling Universe. Got me a Dusty Rhodes figure, what I'm saying, baby. And my wife actually got some comics, so she started.
Okay.
She's like, I'm gonna get some comics. I'm like, all right, go for it. And then, then of course met young Anthony. Wish I had like a little bit more time, but it was pretty. Her schedule was pretty packed in there. Yeah. But another time, he got WrestleMania 40.
He was too busy for me.
I'm planting the seeds with the wife right now for Philadelphia. So,
all right.
We're gonna try to make something happen on that front. And then, of course, hopped over to Massachusetts. Well, we stopped in Rhode Island, and then we did that for a day. And then went over to Massachusetts, Boston, watched the Sox crush the fucking Yankees, 15-5. They fucking dominated. And it was like amazing experience because I'm a big baseball fan. And so had a great time. And of course, hung out with Marco. We did Irish car bombs and
We did what do we call it? We had to change the name.
yeah,
that was
what we call it.
Yeah,
It
so
was,
there was two waitresses. One of them was actually from like Ireland.
Right.
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you like?" She was like, "Oh, we don't like that name really that much." We were like, "Oh,
I'm sorry.
yes." She was like, "That's like if we called, a drink a such and such." I'll let you fill in the blanks there.
Yeah.
Has to do in New York City. We'll fill in the blanks.
I'll say
later.
It's like if they called a drink over here the Hurricane Katrina. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Which we do have a drink called the Hurricane.
Yeah. So, but it was fun. No, it was funny. She was just joking around, but yeah, totally forgot about that. But yeah, no, we spent like a few hours. It was a couple hours, right?
Yeah. We got.
It was fun.
I got real drunk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, did you have beers at Fenway?
Oh God, yes, a crushed beer.
Did you get hammered after?
God,
so look, I was telling him like, be careful when you drink beers at Fenway because like I'm not sure if they're like unfiltered or what the hell. Like they're just straight from the tap. Like they don't do anything to it. And they like get you drunk. Like the fat. That's just a regular beer. Will just
it'll get you drunk.
Drunkest, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's the weirdest thing ever.
I'm not gonna finish that line, but
I'm glad you made it alive though.
Yeah, it was wicked fun. So, but hey, thanks guys for coming hanging out with me.
Yeah, definitely. I said
Raw
Philly.
Down finally meets.
Now you two need to meet. And look, y'all are like 3 hours
That's
apart.
true.
So
That's
no
true.
excuse. It's no excuse.
Yeah, we gotta set up a time.
We can meet tomorrow if we wanted to.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
that is true. Yeah, take a nice drive.
But alas,
And actually, no, it's smoggy still there, right? You guys still having that air quality crap happening over
I
there?
don't know. Now it's at it was at 400
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
at the
Yeah,
beginning.
now it's
of the
back
year, it was
again.
at 4, and now it's like 150, which is still dangerous. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
The smog is back. All right.
maybe they need old J-Bone to come back and push it all the way.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I don't
That's
know
why.
about
Yeah.
Well, we're not here to talk about smog. We are here to talk about Money in the Bank or Smog in the Bank. That'd be a fun
Money
show.
in the bank.
Well, it is in England, and England is known for its like
Yeah.
smogginess and cloudiness. So.
Yeah, these pictures, these graphics, they have a lot of smog on them. Maybe we're onto something.
Mm.
Who knows? But we got 7 matches to talk about. We always start off prediction episodes by just overall hype levels going into the show. Are you guys excited? Does it feel like just another pay-per-view? J-Bone, you're back. Let's start with you.
I'm hyped. I'm ready. I mean, it's Money in the Bank, and I don't want to give like too much to my predictions too much right now, but I really feel like they're gonna I feel like last couple of years Money in the Bank has been kind of a dud, but I think the way they have it set up now, it's like gonna be really exciting. I don't, I always get my hopes up, and then it's like dashing Cody Rhodes. Yeah, so I don't know, but I am hyped, and is in London, it's a big show feel, for sure.
The O2.
Yeah, and then of course there's a lot. I think a lot of things are going to be set for SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam is going to be really exciting, so I'm ready for it.
Marco, how are you feeling?
Pretty good about it. We actually recorded the Chick Foley show last night, out today. We do deep dive into it a little bit. We gave some not real predictions, but scenarios, we'll say, of what we think is going to happen during the show. We just from talking about it, it seems like it's going to be like kind of like J-Bone said, kind of like a setup towards going into SummerSlam. And there's I'm expecting some I'm expecting not just a Bloodline storyline to give us something crazy to happen, but I'm expecting this actual the Money in the Bank matches and how basically how it's going to be, how the matches are going to go. That's going to tell a story, depending on where the men's, Money in the Bank's ladder match is placed and the women's on the card. And whether, obviously Rhea's not, she's not having a match, but she could get if she's there, she could be ready for a match at any point in time.
You always got to stay undied up, baby. You always got to stay undied up.
Yeah, so that's another. I didn't even think of that last night, but that's another thing that could happen. She could be not expecting to have a match, and someone might cash in on her that night. So I'm expecting some like surprises to happen, some craziness anyway. So
I'm not. We'll talk about it, but I'm not too much down. I'm done with the in-show cash-ins. Let's save it. Let's build some suspense with these briefcases, and that's why I'm excited. I feel like we're gonna do that. So
yeah. I just realized my mic wasn't connected for the first 10 minutes of this show, but
didn't sound too.
We're live, pal. Oh, it didn't? All right, good.
Amateur hour, Ryan.
We're live.
Thank you.
Goddamn Ryan Hockenberger.
Yeah, I agree with you. If they do another one of these in-show cash-ins, they've done it how many times, especially on the women's side. Bailey, Alexa, and they did it for someone else.
Liv did.
Liv, yeah. And wasn't Nikki Cross the day after?
Yeah, it was like a week after,
or a week after, yeah.
And then Asuka was like the next night, which was the whole.
Oh yeah, like
I'm pregnant. Here's the title.
Yeah. I think Big E's like the only one that held it right for like a little bit before he cashed it in.
Who was that?
Big E. He kind of held it for a little.
Yeah,
bit.
he held
in recent memory. Yeah. Otis. I mean,
Otis / Miz.
Yeah,
Otis / Miz.
Yeah.
Wait, who won it last year? I'm trying to. Oh yeah, well.
Austin Theory.
Ugh.
That was yuck.
Brock held it for a month, if that.
The Brock party.
That was.
Wish that came back when he was dancing and stuff.
I would like to see kind of like what I did, and like have somebody like cash it in like that. I think that would be interesting. Like have it held for like a whole year, and then like on a SmackDown, somebody cashes in. Just really jumble shit up,
like Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
sort of like kind of like that. That's what I'm hoping they go back to. Is that aura of it?
Yeah. Or if they could time it properly, which I don't know if they could. You schedule Money in the Bank literally 365 days after this upcoming Money in the Bank, so that they could cash in at next year's Money in the Bank. That would be good.
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if they could ever do that though, but
you could do it if they were patient. Which I mean, to their credit, obviously they've been doing a good job being patient. So
it's true. See. Well, let's waste no more time. Let's get into these predictions. We will start things off with the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Oh, thank God.
I'm surprised that this match is on the card, but I'm a little bit happy that it is.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Shayna and Ronda versus Liv and Raquel. Liv came back. What was it, last week on SmackDown?
Yep.
In my hometown, Lafayette, Louisiana, which I was not in attendance for, but there was. Let me talk about this real quick. Because there's a whole thing down here in the news media, and they're talking about why did they not say Lafayette, Louisiana throughout the thing? They just kept saying Cajun Dome, and I'm like, because you guys fucking suck as a crowd.
Try to save you guys.
It's just a shame to even mention
undisclosed location. That's where the show is.
Yeah. Well, we're in Raw Underground, SmackDown Underground.
They're bringing back NXT Underground next week.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. Regardless, so talking about women tag titles, what I will say is I think it's maybe a good sign that you combine the women's tag titles and the NXT women's tag titles, and now you're putting this match on the pay-per-view where you have the SmackDown, the undisputed women's championship, and the tag team titles for the men on the SmackDown before. So maybe it's a good sign that they're putting this match on the pay-per-view, kind of putting some more emphasis. Maybe it's a step in the right direction. I doubt it, but it's a good step nonetheless. But let's get into predictions. Marco, who do you got for this match and why?
I have Shayna and I almost said Becky Lynch. Jeez, Ronda Rousey winning, retaining. They just obviously combined the two titles already.
Right.
And as we like to say on the Chick Foley show, they're going into this match with double XP for our gamers out there. So they're pretty much they're pretty much untouchable. They have, or if you want to break it down a little bit, Super Mario Brothers, the star, the invincible star. That's what they just grabbed, and they're going into this match. It's not gonna be like a squash, like or anything like that. There's gonna be it's gonna be a rivalry. They're gonna have matches and stuff like that. It's not gonna be like a one and done with Liv and Raquel, or it could be. We did speak about there might be, Ascension. Raquel might get a little bit pissed off and probably go solo, which I'm hoping. Just because we talked about this last week, Anthony, about her kind of being that like top star along with Bianca and Rhea. So maybe that'll happen. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you could deny Shayna and Ronda. I don't think they're losing the titles that fast.
Yep. J-Bone.
Yep. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. It's I think you got to keep it on them for a couple reasons. I think they're a good cornerstone to keep this to help build this division up.
Yeah,
but they really got to put focus on it. And honestly, at the same time, like I don't like that they basically unified the NXT tag titles, because that was a good opportunity to build teams in NXT and then send them up. Like they normally do. So now there's like no incentive. Like, what are you going to do now? There's no incentive to build tag teams in NXT.
I still think there's an incentive. I think it's just the fact that there's not a lot. Like when they first brought in those tag titles for NXT, there were a lot of tag teams, and that was when the NXT women's division was stacked. So you could really do it. Yeah. But now, especially that they're starting to consider NXT like the third brand again and not just developmental. Now I think you have more of a crutch so that Ronda and Shayna, they could defend their titles on Raw and SmackDown. But if you get a good tag team down there,
they can go down there.
Then you can defend the title down there rather than having a whole division and then worrying about, all right, who's going to get moved up? Who's going to stay down? Who do we have to put together? If a good team comes up, then they defend the titles against them.
Yeah, and we talked about that last week because obviously Nick Khan saying, they're seeing NXT as a third brand, and you're going to start seeing a lot more crossover with NXT as you've been seeing for the past couple weeks. Good. Already. Yeah, like Carmelo showing up on Raw. You had Seth Rollins going down to NXT to face Braun Breaker. You had Rhea Ripley show up this week.
Baron Corbin. Did you see Baron Corbin as the lone wolf?
Yep. Now he's
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was sick.
They have him as like Carmelo's at the crosshairs of the Judgment Day now, so they have that kind of like parallel going with NXT. So I'm glad they're starting to do they're doing it right. So now when they do these call ups to the main roster, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy, or who's this girl? You're gonna be like, oh, dude, that's Carmelo Hayes. He was on Raw, or he helped Seth Rollins out, that type of stuff. So
Baron Corbin doing his legend gimmick already.
Yeah, I know, right? He's
got one foot out the door.
Part-time schedule already. But they definitely have they definitely have their eyes set on Carmelo. You can definitely tell that.
Yeah,
he's the pick of that. That could.
He's definitely approved. I will say that he's definitely. I had a lot of criticism with him because he was like John Cena. Like you could hear him calling stuff, see him calling. Like, hey, this is so aggravating. Stop. But he's definitely gotten better. So, he's got a shit ton, which is funny. If you remember way back whenever at least when Carmelo Hayes became on my radar, they did that breakout star tournament or something.
Yeah.
And I think it was like either right before that tournament or sometime like after, and he did the ruthless aggression spot. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
And it's like, golly, you learned everything from John Cena.
Well,
No,
dude.
but
Well,
he's good.
the funny thing is, just a little background. He's he was in here. There's a town called
Oh
Malden.
yeah, yeah.
And he did. I was actually at a show that they did. It's the it's not big time wrestling. It's like Boston Wrestling Federation or something like that. And John Cena's father is like, it's him. It's John Cena's father, John Cena Senior, and Tony Atlas. They're like the co owners of
Tony
it.
Atlas.
Yeah, Tony Atlas, dude.
Random.
And he was actually there. Carmelo. Well, he wasn't Carmelo at the time, but he was one of their, one of their like top guys or whatever. And so it kind of makes sense that he, has that like John Cena-ish type thing because he's getting coached by Cena Senior, dude. I mean, and it's probably a Massachusetts thing, him calling out spots just like John Cena doing during the matches. You're like, dude, what the hell? Shut up. You can hear everything he's saying, but
You should have. Everybody should have. Because we're going off a tangent, but should have watched Dark Side of the Ring. Tony Atlas has got some interesting statements.
oh yeah, yeah,
the Junkyard Dog episode.
oh no, yeah.
Let's just say it has to do with feet.
Jeez.
Will you stop?
he's a nice guy, but he actually took a picture with him, me and a couple of my buddies. He seemed like a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a good hand, or he's
Good
a good
worker.
foot, rather.
He's a good foot. He's got a good foot.
I'm also going with Shayna and Ronda on this match.
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
Wow.
So Liv is coming back from what injury did she have?
Shoulder.
Shoulder. So I think that'll factor into the match. I don't know if we're doing bonus question on this of who pins
We
who. I'm gonna say Ronda taps out Liv, and they'll factor the shoulder injury into it because I don't think they want to have Raquel lose, especially with how much stock they've been putting into these last few weeks.
Yeah.
And I agree. I do hope that this kind of leads to them splitting up. I don't know if I would turn one of them heel. Well, I don't know if I would turn Raquel heel.
She needs it, honestly.
It probably makes sense too. But I mean, you still need to do Raquel versus Rhea, and that's a big match that they could. That's probably their biggest defense for Rhea right now on the Raw roster, at least. And I don't know if you pass that up by turning her heel. It could be interesting to turn Liv heel. I don't know if that would go over well because she has a big fan base. But you turn Jungle Boy heel, so anything is possible at this point.
Oh boy.
God. You mean oh shit, what's his name from that 70s show?
Jungle Dude. Oh, what the heck is his name?
I can't think of his name right now. Anyway.
I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about, Ian.
Yeah.
But
Barker, who do you got for your pin?
I have Shayna tapping out Liv.
Okay, I have that too.
Opposite of
I have that too. So
young Anthony.
I wouldn't be
Alright.
surprised if they gave this one to Shayna. I think she needs it more, but
yeah.
nonetheless, we will move on. Raw rolls on. We're going to talk about the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defends his title against Matt Riddle. I mean, we've been critical about Riddle ever since his return. Especially last week, I was saying how they haven't really figured out what they're doing with Riddle. You know, he's still doing the goofy stuff, but then he just immediately kicks it into serious. Riddle wants to kill everybody, and it's just back and forth flip-flop. But with all of that being said, I still think this is going to be a really good match. Riddle can go in the ring, especially we know Gunther is probably one of the top wrestlers of the year this year when we're considering in-ring matches. Right, just had a match against Sami Zayn, which I was hoping was going to be the match for this pay-per-view. And that was great. But with all of that considered, I am going with Gunther to retain his title. I just don't think you put the title on Riddle, especially with Gunther about to top this honky tonk reign, which I do think will happen.
Yeah, it's got to.
They're at the point where it's the same thing with Roman. Like, could you do something where Gunther faces someone at SummerSlam and takes the title off him? Sure.
Yep.
But you can't pass up becoming the top Intercontinental Champion. I don't see how they could do it. I'm going with Gunther to retain.
Yeah, I think I think that's all of us. Riddle just he needs something. I don't know. We keep talking about it. He needs to be turned heel. Honestly,
Yeah,
we need to see heel. Let's see that real Riddle character break. Well, a little bit anyway.
Yeah, we need some serious Riddle happening, I think.
Yeah, I don't even think it needs to be a heel turn. I think he just needs to commit. Is it goofy or is it serious? Because the goofy stuff wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
like some of it was bad, but some of it was like him and Randy was pretty tolerable.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to kind of mimic how Big E used to do it. Like Big E was like, he was himself. Like he was like, being funny and all that stuff. But as soon as it was match time and it was time to get serious, that's when he would, kick in and stuff like that. Like obviously Big E wasn't being like the super goofy guy, but he was being like the fun, hip swiveling and all that stuff, Big E.
Right.
But when it came time to do have a match, or a promo, he was all business with the promos.
Yeah, and I think that's the intention with Riddle, but I just think the goofy stuff is
he can't pull
it doesn't come off
now.
as natural like Big E is coming off.
Well, yeah, and it feels like he's just there to have a good time, Whereas, Big E was goofy, but like you said, like he knew when to go to business. But even when it's time for business, like Riddle's just like,
right. It takes him half a match just to even get into that.
Right.
Here's another question that we could talk about. Randy Orton is apparently pretty much cleared to return to WWE, which we've been hearing that for months, so who knows. But do we see Randy come out in London for Money in the Bank?
No. I don't think so.
I'm going to say yes. I think Randy is going to, if there's any match he's going to come out, it's going to be this one. And I think they do Randy versus Gunther at SummerSlam.
So I see McIntyre coming out before Randy.
Oh, I could see. I mean, you could really see both. I don't think they'll do both of them, but I could see either one. I think Randy will get. I wonder who would get a bigger reaction, if it would be Randy or if it would be Drew.
I mean, Randy's been gone longer, so probably.
And Randy's he's Randy. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go. So Kurt Angle's the one that kind of started all this, and their wives are pretty close. So if anyone's gonna have any knowledge, it's gonna be Kurt Angle, I'd imagine, because he's just there. Kurt didn't really grow up in the business, so he's like, "Oh, kayfabe, yeah, I get it."
Yeah, whatever.
Whereas Randy's dad's like, "Yeah, kayfabe." Like, I have a gun, had a gun pulled on me one time, kid. So I'm gonna go yes on Randy coming back.
Think so?
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, we need Randy to come back.
Yeah.
We need some Randy.
We do need some Randy. Do you see them doing Gunther versus Randy at SummerSlam, or do you have another match in mind for Randy?
Riddle, hopefully.
Oh, Riddle, yeah, true.
He comes out and RKO's Riddle, and maybe that'll help.
Well,
Riddle get back.
If that's a heel turn that they're gonna do. Well, I don't know if you do it. You see, that's tough because I don't know if you do it in London, and well, I don't know why I said A. I don't know if you do it in London because. If you have him return and immediately turn on Riddle, he's not gonna be booed. I don't think Randy will be booed the rest of his career.
I don't know.
He knows how to do it. He knows how to turn people.
He's pretty good.
He knows how to do it, but he needs like a well-liked baby face. Like if we were talking about Riddle in like 2021, 2022.
People still like Riddle. They don't know.
People still like Riddle, but it's not as big as it used to be. it wasn't like he doesn't have that connection to the crowd.
Well, yeah,
anymore.
you can't do it with Riddle. You did Cody.
Oh yeah, there you
Cody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another feud that could actually no.
And that would be a way that you could turn if you need Randy to be on the heel side. I mean, honestly, you could do it either way. I mean,
that's a good point. I didn't think about Cody. Randy and Cody is still a big match that needs to happen.
Yeah, that's a big match. That could be something in like a Survivor Series.
That spot's reserved for someone else that's going to fly to London probably when we get to that match.
Well, that ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
I love that.
You need that one where he does a spit take. That's pretty funny too.
Fucking that's right. I don't give a shit about your kids.
That's another good one.
Did you get that one?
Brock has got some very sneaky moments.
What did he say?
Oh, say something stupid.
What did he say about? He said something to Hogan before.
Party's over, Grandpa.
Yeah, dude, we need that one.
That was the best one. That's the best one he ever did. When we bring back Tom on the show, that's going to be our drop for.
Oh, dude, we need to get some Brock drops in here, dude.
Yeah.
Party's over, Grandpa.
Party's over, Grandpa. As many Roman drops as we have, we need as equal as many for Brock.
So good. Have to find some more.
Well, let's move on. Raw rolls on. We're going to talk about... Let's just get all the singles and tag matches out of the way. Let's move on.
Yawn.
Yeah. Well, not yawn on this one. This will be fun.
Sorry, yeah.
Ooh.
Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. They did a good job in building this one up. I mean, I thought they were going to put Dom and Money in the Bank. I'm kind of glad that they didn't now that I'm looking at the rest of that field.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Cody Rhodes, hottest heel. Here we go. Cody Rhodes, the hottest baby face in the company. Dom, you can make the argument, is the hottest heel in the company right now. It's they're doing it in front of a London crowd. So this is a match made in heaven. Who do you got and why? Let's start with J-Bone.
Well, this could go a couple different ways. I mean, I don't think this is clear cut here.
Nope.
Marco, I know you kind of alluded to it. And of course I heard, kind of listened to what y'all said in Chick-fil-A. I'd already made up my mind before that, but
what are you doing your homework before the show?
Shut
don't
up.
do homework on this show.
We always give it.
I support my friends. That's what I do.
We always give a disclaimer on the Chick-fil-A show is where don't base your picks off of what we're talking about. We're just talking through.
But the way even Chad, I even texted Chad this week because on Wrestling Tonight they were talking about stuff. I'm like, I was going to talk about that. So we'll get there and get to that point. But I do think Brock is going to come in and cost Cody this match. You have to look at this in a booking sense,
Yep.
Not just like I want him to win, which I'll get into with the Money in the Bank matches as well too.
Oh yeah.
I think Dom needs it a little bit more, to be honest with you. And like, can you imagine him going out there with Mommy, with all those boos, and just be like,
"Oh, I can't wait.
I was the American Nightmare for the American Nightmare," or something along those lines, and then just boo. And he didn't have to say much. Just I beat Cody Rhodes, and of course it'll have to be with the help of Brock. That of course will set up the SummerSlam match, which will be badass. Of course, you got to do it. You got to do it. So
yeah, Dom needs this win. I'm gonna give it to him here, and Brock will also interfere. Like I was saying, you can't. If they want to keep up the heat that Dom has, and I think that they can, they're going to have something to like bump up that momentum again, right? Because it was all the way high when he was facing Ray, and it was the boos and all of that. But now it's not starting to dip down at all. But you run that risk if you don't give Dom something for the fans to boo. and it has to be something big because he's the most crowd reactions in the company right now. He needs something for the crowd to hate. So why not jump off of Ray and jump onto Cody, get a big win? I think that's the perfect thing that they could do with Dom right now.
Yeah.
And Cody can eat a loss. I mean, we're building up to WrestleMania 40 for Cody and Roman. Like, this is his he has to take some losses to ultimately get that big win. So he's due for a few losses, especially on pay-per-view. I'm giving this one to Dom.
Yeah. We like I said, we kind of alluded to this on the show already. We think Dom's going to win. It'll definitely give him some more nuclear heat, not even more. And it just have that notch in his belt. You couldn't have had the most perfect opponent where Cody Rhodes is that he's all for the story, he's all about the business, he's all about making things happen, and he'll do whatever it takes to get the storyline going and keep it moving. I think he's definitely. I don't think he has a problem taking a loss to Dominic. He's helping a younger talent get over. It's gonna be epic, dude, when he does win. It's gonna be epic when
I have an idea. I think this would be so hilarious.
Oh no.
I got an idea. So you know how Cody does the weight belt, right? Gives it to the kid. What if in the middle of the ring he gives the weight belt to Dominic?
He's probably gonna do that. Kisses it and he goes just hands it.
Yeah, and then Dominic just throws it out the ring, and then Cody could roll out and then actually give it to the kid or something.
That's good. That's pretty good.
That's what they need to do. Cody, book it. Come on, pal, do it.
Book it, Cody.
Yeah, I think it's Cody's all about the business, dude. He'll do the favor for Dommy, I think. For Dome, my Dome.
Yeah. Did y'all see? It was like a house show. I just kind of saw the end of the clip, but I think I guess the judge, it was Priest and Dominic. They were getting their ass kicked or something, and so Dom was trying to help Priest up, and he's trying to carry him out because he was hurt, and he couldn't. He dropped him or whatever. And then Rhea comes from around the corner, picks up Damian Priest, and brings him out.
Carries him like a baby and walks down the aisle with him.
I was like, that's awesome.
Great. Oh man,
the way they're booking Rhea right now is, dude, she's golly, she's right there with Cody, on a star level. I mean, they got some gold right there.
When you have Corey Graves mentioning something that happened on, we didn't talk about this, dude. I'm surprised we didn't bring this up. I mean, because J-Bone was here. We had to keep it PG with young Anthony. But remember the story that happened with the Rhea Ripley's? She shared a reel or a story on her Instagram. Did you guys hear about this?
No, I didn't.
How do I say this? Some dude did a tribute, we'll say, to Rhea, and she posted it on her Instagram story. And then on that Monday Night Raw, Corey Graves goes, "KP, I seen what you did," and Rhea posted it on her Instagram. He actually mentioned it. You're disgusting. I see what you said to Rhea.
That's hilarious.
You didn't hear about that?
No, I did not.
Yes, no. She posted it. She actually posted the.
She is very interactive with the fans. So
I'll say,
yeah,
is very interactive.
Yeah, clearly. To your point, J-Bone, of they're really Rhea's on Cody's level. I mean, you look at this card alone. There are so many people that I know people like to. Oh, I just turned off my air conditioner by accident. I know there's a lot of people.
Turn on your AC Slater back.
That like to poo-poo on WWE by saying, "Oh, it's just the bloodline and there's nothing else." Which is
it's a fair argument, but no,
it's a fair argument on the surface level.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just look at this card. You got guys like Cody Rhodes, Dom Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Gunther, Rhea Ripley, LA Knight. I mean, the list goes on about who's been booked very well recently.
Yeah.
And I mean,
This is the best roster since the Attitude Era, in my opinion.
Damn.
I don't know if that's a hot take or
Wow.
not. But
I'll put that as a nice old.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I'm not saying
Damn.
I'm not saying it's better than the Attitude Era, because Attitude Era is obviously great,
Yeah.
but it's right there neck and neck. I mean, look at this. You got Roman, you got the Usos. You're building Solo up to that next level as well too.
Seth,
Rhea's
Cody.
the China / Sable.
Charlotte.
I mean, in that,
Bianca.
she's the woman that's like just Charlotte, Bianca, obviously, just the
Rollins.
Yeah, you got Rollins, you got Gunther. I mean, God, this roster's deep. I mean,
Judgment
really,
Day,
seriously,
like,
when is the last time?
even the lower mid card, you got like Alpha Academy and
Yes.
fucking
Ricochet.
Ali,
Shinsuke.
LA
This is a
Knight.
hell of a roster.
LA Knight. Yeah. It might
Talent
be-
wise, I think this is
You
definitely
might be
up
right.
there.
And we were talking about this last week about like how different the roster is right now. There's like we went into a deep discussion about the legacy acts and how they're not really being booked as strongly as when Vince McMahon was running things.
Mhm.
Triple H isn't harping on the legacy acts. Literally everyone right now that's a star is from NXT.
Yeah,
Everyone that's in the forefront
Right.
is came up from NXT. Damian Priest, Bianca, Charlotte, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns,
yeah,
the Usos. You can throw in LA Knight, Ricochet,
yeah.
Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Like literally anyone that's like a main card person is from NXT, and that's we were just talking about how weird that is. That it's not like we're not seeing like Brock Lesnar every week, John Cena every week, like trying to fill in those voids of no star power. Like they have the star power where they don't need
Dude,
any legacy acts
I
anymore.
said last week the champions are legit all from NXT except for
they're all NXT
Ronda.
people.
And I remember like back in the Raw recap days, when Tom and I I would preach every day, like every week, like we gotta build the young stars, keep building it. Man, and like in the span of 2 years, they've done that. So,
Dude, I don't want to hear anything from anyone about how NXT didn't work or that they didn't produce stars from NXT. You look up and down this roster. Sure, NXT had a few duds, and that was mainly due on the booking side. Majority of the talent that didn't work from NXT was
but cream does rise to the top.
Cream.
Very true. But like the talent wise, all the talent was there. You have your Ascension and you have your Bo Dallas and Adam Rose. But you look up and down this roster at how many people came from NXT. The majority of this roster was built from NXT. So I don't want to hear anything. And like you just said, this is probably the best roster since the Attitude Era. So I don't want to hear anything about, NXT's been a complete failure. Even a bunch of the lower card guys were products of NXT, and they're fantastic. Some of the best in-ring action that we've ever gotten in the last few years. So
can't forget Asuka either. That's another insane.
Asuka, fucking
Bianca, Becky,
Rhea, Raquel.
This
Liv,
fucking guy.
this fucking guy, that fucking guy.
This fucking
And there are still so many stars down in NXT who haven't even been called up yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Like Tiffany Stratton, Carmelo.
Tiffany
Hayes,
Stratton,
right?
dude.
He's a great guy.
She's a great guy. Yeah, Tiffany. Who else? What's her name? There's a couple other ones. The Metaphor, I like now too. That new faction that they have down there. Have you seen this? Noam Dar and there's a couple other people in it, but they called instead of Metaphor, it's Meta, MBTA4.
There's the right name, man.
Dude, the TNT.
Tyson.
I know, Mike.
Tyson. We're back in power, pal. We're back in
Damn it.
power. You fast forward to the front.
Still hurting. Oh man, still hurting from that briefcase.
I know. I'm surprised you even remembered it happened.
Oh man, dude, it's all coming back to me.
It's all coming back to me.
Concussions are serious, Marco. You gotta
Yeah,
get that
man.
checked out.
All right.
Roll
Well, what's the next match?
All right, so we're all in agreement on Dom here.
Yeah.
Dommy.
Dope.
Dommy with Brock.
Dommy with Brock. Everyone's with Dommy with Brock. Let's get one more singles match in, and it's for the World Heavyweight Championship. Marco does it so well. It's Seth freaking Rollins going up against Finn Balor. I feel bad at this point because Roman isn't even defending his title on the show, and Roman's still going to main event over the world title.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Like, look, when we were just doing the shows with me and Marco, I mentioned that this is the perfect time for you to build up this title because Roman isn't defending his Universal title. You're in a situation where Roman's feud does not focus around the championship. You have a chance in these next few weeks, months, that you can have Seth defending this title often and give some legitimacy to it. Like this title can main event pay-per-views. It can main event episodes of Raw. But you get to the point now where they were about to do it. They were about to have Seth do this open challenge. What was it, last week? He gets knocked out. They changed the plans. He does the Braun Breaker match, which actually pulled in very good numbers, I will say. I think like 900,000 people.
I think 800. But yeah,
well, 800 consistently for NXT. I think 900 for that main event segment.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Which is very good.
Yeah.
But now and this could all be wiped away if this match main events. I think if this match is the main event of Money in the Bank, which it won't be, we're talking a completely different scenario here. But the fact that this match is going to be shoved in the mid card, it's a testament to what they think about the World Heavyweight Championship in the grand scheme of things when you're comparing it to a match that we're going to get to in a little bit.
I would you do make very valid points. However, like
I know I do.
This is Money in the Bank. Okay. So
right.
The gimmick match, even though I know the gimmick match is not even headlining here.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is it really didn't even have a chance out the gate.
That's true.
So, if this was like Payback or something, be like, okay.
Yeah. But even Money in the Bank doesn't have a chance. I mean, Roman and the Bloodline Civil War shit, that's going on last. I mean, you're even hearing like there's internal conversations about what the finish is going to be. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
like this is some top secret bullshit.
And it's here's the thing too. It's nothing against Seth Rollins, but who's the breadwinner? Who's the star power? Who's going to keep butts and seats?
Oh. If the Phelps aren't going to be too happy with that.
They're going to
I mean, it's Roman. They're not going to be mad that I'm saying it's Roman Reigns.
Well, true.
Right. But it's Roman. It's Seth Rollins. Yes, obviously we're looking at it as a storyline perspective, wrestling perspective. Yes, the championship should go on last. Should be the main event. But on the business side of things, Roman Reigns is the fucking king, dude. He's the one that keeps the lights on. This is my company.
I believe
Seth Rollins. That's my Seth Rollins.
I believe he sits at the head of the table.
Yeah. So he's not sitting on the side. He's not he's not asking somebody to pass him the potatoes. They're just automatically doing it.
Right? This cameraman right here. This is my cameraman.
Until Seth Rollins has that type of attitude with that title. Like, basically I'm coming out saying I'm the world champion, blah, blah, blah. Like him saying, like, him taking ownership of the world title as well as everything that comes with it. That's when you'll see him start main eventing.
What do you mean by that? I
I
don't get what you mean.
Basically saying the same things that Roman says.
Doesn't he though? Like the whole premise around this title is it's the title that's going to be defended more than Roman.
Yeah, but he's not saying he's the company's on his back. He's saying, I'm gonna defend this title. I'm not taking this company. This company's mine now. It's on my back. He's not like he's embracing the championship, but he's not embracing everything like Roman does.
Okay.
Like when
I'll
Roman
give you that.
and you look at Roman, he's the WWE. Like he's the reason why it's still running the way it is, because he's the main event star. You don't see that yet with Seth Rollins. That's why you won't see him main event yet, because he hasn't taken that mantle.
That's a good take. I'll give you
Roman
that.
Reigns said it. He said he's waiting for somebody to do that. He's waiting for somebody to take that, not just that spot with the championship, but his spot in general. Him being that like the Hulk Hogan or whatever of his era. Like he's waiting for somebody to come in.
I know it's gonna be L.A. Knight.
But see, that's the other thing. When you look at it like at that perspective, like obviously it's a long build, and they already had that like kind of going for Roman. But like, who do you see carrying the torch? Like, Seth is gonna if it's gonna be Seth, he's gonna have to start saying things like that. Like, this is my I'm pushing this company forward. All this, like he's gonna have to take ownership of the company at some.
So after Roman, who's gonna carry the
torch?
Cody.
Who's gonna be that like person that's gonna replace not him with his championship, but him in his spot with the
Cody.
Okay.
Well, Cody's turning 38 tomorrow, by the way.
And so like
I'm just saying after Roman.
Yeah.
It's not a spring chicken.
It's not that Roman's like about to hang it up. It's because he can hang it up.
Yeah, he can.
It's like you're somebody who works a 9-to-5 job that's put their money away for years and can retire at 55 years old. I
mean, Roman's the same age, right?
Yeah, they're the same age. It's just Roman's just been putting his time in, his money up. He's just invested well, and he's good to go. Cody, he struggled a little bit, so he's got to retire at 65.
He came up on hard times. Is that what you're saying?
Hard times, baby.
Hard times, baby.
A computer took his job, baby. Kicked him in the butt.
Oh my god.
But I mean, I'm being facetious, but I mean, Cody. It's not that Cody can't do it. He's just got to put in a little bit more years, and
No, you're right.
He's got the wiggle room. But after Cody, they have a problem.
Yeah.
I say a problem, not a big problem, but
no, they
start playing that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about how young this roster is, how many NXT people there are. I think all your pieces are there. It just now becomes how can you mold all of these already great talent into that next star. Look, Braun Breaker is young. He's got beef. And he's got the talent, but he's not someone that I see as, he can immediately beat Roman, give him the title. He's there. No, he's not. He still has to work on promos. He still has to work on believability. He's not the guy, even down in NXT. Like there are a few guys that are over Braun Breaker at this point. So I think that's not a knock on Braun. He's still very young. I just think there's some pieces that need to be molded properly. And I think that goes for majority of the roster. If they want someone to take that brass ring, they're going to have to take those guys who they know are already very talented and find a way to turn them into main event talent, which some of them are, upper mid card. Some of them are like right there. They need that something. Like Roman has that something. He has that character.
Yeah.
Even Seth, he's not the top guy, but he developed that something, that character, that Seth freaking Rollins. That's his thing.
And I think we're just out of history, you always look to the guys as taking over. J-Bone kind of said it earlier. I mean, someone that's neck and neck with Cody, Rhea. She could be
very much.
She could be that taking that Roman spot. Like she's because I mean she has that too. She has that like kind of like Roman swag. Where she she comes in and owns it. Like she says like
owns the room. Yeah.
Yeah, she owns the room, dude. Like Seth Rollins comes out, people sing his song, all that stuff. But does he have like does he have your attention? Does he own the room like a Roman or even a Rhea? I mean, she does it, dude. Men and women love Rhea.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. She might be that. She might be. I mean, we might be looking in the wrong direction as far as like the person that's taking the next spot could be. Like I said, could be a lady.
Last week we were talking about how strong the women's division is after this 4 horsewomen era. I mean, just the top 3. Bianca, Rhea, Raquel. That's your big 3 going forward. So maybe that is going to be the focus. Rhea as your top star. I don't think people are talking about that enough.
Because she's kind of doing the same thing as Roman. She's not really defending her title. Like, Roman doesn't defend, like, he's not defending every single time. And they kind of treat her the same way. They got to have her, like, be like the marquee, like, person. She's not going to be the workhorse.
Which
title.
It is smart that now that we're talking about that, it is smart that the way they did the title designs, putting the world heavyweight version, the women's world heavyweight championship on Rhea. So now you see that on a men's, and it's like, oh, okay, that balances things out,
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, golly, look at this analysis,
dude.
We should start charging for this analysis.
No, exactly, right?
Yeah. Anyways, so we got Seth. Everybody got Seth on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I want Finn to win, but I don't know. It would depend on the match card, how everything's set up.
Right.
Because my scenario. Oh, actually, no. When we get to that, we get to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Well, so who do you have for this?
Oh no, I have Seth winning.
Okay, all right.
In a perfect world, I would love for Judgment Day to win all of their matches on this show, but that's where it becomes as great as Judgment Day has been, and how perfect Rhea's been booked, and how much heat Dom has. This is where the problem lies, and it's that as much as these guys are presented great, they don't get wins. They're put in situations where they don't win. Now, do they need the wins? Maybe not, because they're so over. But, I mean, just look at the last few weeks. They've lost to Cody, Sami, and KO. Damian lost to Seth. Finn's going to lose to Finn's going to lose to Seth. It's very rare that you see a strong win for Judgment Day. That's why I would love for
they're protected. They're also protected in these.
Yeah, they're really
they're protected, but there comes a point where you need to win.
Not really.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, like you can't get to the point where you present this faction as the top faction on Raw, and they're losing every fucking week.
That you just said it. They present it. It's the presentation. They present them as a top act.
No, and that's great,
and on the follow side, they protect. Look at the match with Bad Bunny, right? I mean, you had all these shenanigans, right? Damien's protected. Even the stuff with Edge and Finn, they were protected in the loss. Which proves why Dom needs to win.
Right,
Dom needs this win right here.
I know.
And on top of that, you have Rhea Ripley, who's so fucking. I know they don't say they have a leader, but she's definitely the leader, right? And she's the world champion. So, yeah.
No, the protecting is fine. It just gets to a point where how long can you protect them until it's like, all right, well, the Judgment Day is obviously going to lose this one. I just don't want it to get to that point, because I think they are very good, and they're already teasing breakups now, and it's like you could just give them a few wins and it'll be fine. On Raw, at least. I mean, Finn has gotten a few wins, but in the big matches is what I'm talking about. Like, that's where they just don't pick up anything. And it's like, sure, they maybe do a DQ or they do an interference, but I mean, you could still do an interference and win. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Do we think Drew McIntyre is coming out for Money in the Bank? Because if there is a match that is going to show up, I would imagine it's this one.
I'm going to say no.
I'm also going to say no.
I mean, I have a feeling he's going to show up, not during the match, but just like in an like an appearance or some shit like that, just to show his face. I don't know. We'll see. It's in London. It's in that area. It's just it feels right.
So you're saying yeah?
I'm saying yeah. I'm saying
All right.
we
Well,
gotta see Drew
we're
back.
gonna put that down as a bonus then.
Drew.
Wait, so are we doing Randy as a
Yes.
bonus question too?
Yes.
Did you get our answers for that?
Yes, I did.
All right, good. Very good. You're on top of your game, J-Bone. You come back. What is this? A new J-Bone?
I always get the picks.
Always got the picks. Always got the picks. Let's look. This is normally when we take a break to talk about some other news, but there's nothing else going on. Should we just get out these rest of these picks and call it a day?
Sure.
All right. Let's move on to, this match will probably main event, but I'll get it out of the way now and we'll have a little bit of fun talking about it.
I like it.
It's the Bloodline Civil War. I fucking love that they're calling it this. Roman and Solo versus the Usos. The story leading up to this has been fantastic. We've talked multiple times in the last few weeks of how this is slowly but surely taking maybe the top spot as the best story that the WWE has ever told. And
Hold on, let's pump the brakes.
I said maybe.
It might be, man. What storylines? I know
You
everyone's
can't
saying,
even argue that it's not close.
Yeah, everyone's
Oh
like,
no, it's close. It's close. It's
what's the
definitely
best
close.
one? What do you think is the best?
Austin
storyline?
McMahon. Come on. Austin McMahon.
Well, that's why we'll never know for
hands
certain
down.
unless they stick the landing on this one.
Yeah.
Like
But, I
if
mean,
if this has a storybook ending, I think this is
Austin and McMahon changed the way things got booked for years. You have the heel general manager or whatever, the owner, and he's always going to help and keep the baby face down. That was like the thing to do for years up until the Authority. I mean, finally,
no, we're talking about storyline, like the actual storyline.
I know,
not any influence or anything like that. But
but I think the storyline, like it was so good, it influenced years down the road. I don't see this influencing anything.
well, that becomes the debate of what was the most influential storyline of all time. I think influence has a little bit to do with it, but even then, I mean, we're talking about Austin McMahon here. Yes, it influenced many other Authority angles, but a lot of
I think it also just holds up. Like,
it holds up. I think it's
against the
definitely
boss,
these
like,
two. I think Hogan and Savage has moved down
mhm.
as a at least number 2 for now because it's 1A and 1B. It now just becomes, can Roman's story have a good ending, which Austin McMahon did not have with them aligning.
Yeah, it was poopy.
Like if Roman fucking loses to Gunther, then we're gonna be like, okay, let's pump the brakes here.
Yeah,
but
if they stick the landing on this, it might overtake it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
These last few weeks definitely got a little bit more leverage in the Bloodline's favor.
Yeah,
the best story of all time.
Yeah.
But alas, like we were saying, last few weeks have been really good. Jay and Jimmy. I mean, Jay is just they're gonna win an Emmy for this fucking story. I think they could if they wanted to. They could apply for an Emmy. I don't know.
They could. They should.
Plus with the writer's strike going on, they have a pretty good chance. But who knows? But if they did want to apply for an Emmy, I think I think the Emmys are actually pushed back because of the writer's strike.
Yeah.
So pay the writers.
Pay the writers.
Pay the writers.
Pay the writers. And don't use AI.
Don't use AI. Yeah, I think this is a good storyline. But let's talk about the match itself. Who do you got? Let's start with Marco.
Oh boy. I think Man, this is a tough one. But I think I'm going with the Bloodline on this one. Roman and Solo. I think it's this is a match where the Usos have to learn a lesson. That they, the part of the storyline where they can't cut it on their own. And the dominant team is going to be Roman and Solo beating them at their own game because they kind of called it out like, this isn't a made up tag team with the Usos. We've been doing this since day one. They gave that a whole lockdown to Uso penitentiary speech or whatever. So I think Roman's going to take that to heart, obviously, and him and Solo are gonna win. They're gonna beat the Usos. It's gonna be they'll be 1-0 against the Usos. Granted, I'm not sure if we might get a special SmackDown episode where they face each other in a rematch or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm going with Roman's out losing 2 pay-per-views in a row. He already lost against Sami and KO. I mean, I highly doubt he's losing again.
Very good.
J-Bone, go ahead.
So this is tough. This is really tough. Been thinking about this one all week. So, mainly not necessarily who's going to win, but how this is going to unfold. And clearly, WWE's is in the same book because they don't know.
Yeah, they have no clue.
Which also, we could talk about this maybe in a future episode too. Remember how they were talking about the betting stuff, and like this is like a perfect example of why you can't do betting for WWE if they're not really sure. But I think you got to go Bloodline. You got to go Roman and Solo here. And because the Usos have gotten their upper hand the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
With attacking Roman and Solo and all that stuff. So they got theirs. Now it's time to for Roman to get his. So now it's a question of how this goes down. I say Roman pins Jimmy.
This is a bit of a tough one because we don't know where SummerSlam is headed.
Right.
If it was clear cut that we were getting Roman and Jay, then maybe it would be easier to predict. But I don't even know if we're getting that. I mentioned last week maybe they hold off a month or two, and they do it on the 3-year anniversary of when Roman originally fought Jay in September of 2020, and they do the match in September 2023. I don't think they'll do that, but would be good storytelling. And that's where the Bloodline story ends. Who knows? With all of that taken into consideration, I am hesitantly going with the Usos on this one.
Ooh!
If I'm going to win this title, I have to take some risks. I'm going to go with the Usos because this is another tag team match for Roman. The fact that he's with Solo, it gives you a chance for the Usos to get a big win on a big stage against their family and allow Solo to take the pin. Now, I bet against Roman and Solo once last show, and I ate my words for it, so maybe I'll do the same here. But I'm going with the Usos. I think you need that momentum that if, let's say, Jay goes in and he fights Roman at SummerSlam, you don't want Roman to already have beaten the Usos. You want a little bit of momentum. That's why it's weird. Like, I could also see Roman pinning Jimmy, get that part of the story out of the way, and, tie it into, well, you haven't pinned Jay yet. But I don't know. I think it's more valuable to have Jay get a big pinfall victory over Solo and ride that momentum into SummerSlam rather than have Roman pinned Jimmy in a tag team match. Jay somehow gets a title match, and then Roman pins Jay. I think you'd rather just have the Usos get a big win. So I'm going to go with Jay pinning Solo.
Okay.
Hesitantly.
So Jay pinning Solo. All right.
It's a bad pick. What do you think, Jay?
Hey, look.
It's a great pick, in my opinion.
I mean, it is, yeah. I didn't even pick who's going to pin who.
Yeah, who you got for that?
I have, let me see. I have Solo pinning Jay.
All right.
I was going to say Jimmy, but I'm going to go Jay.
Solo pinning him.
We've got all different answers there.
And here's what we're forgetting. This time there's no outside interference for anybody. So it's going to be a clean win. Well, I mean, there might be obviously cheating.
Unless Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. So there's no more Bloodline family members running down that we know of. So there's really no reason why Roman and Solo shouldn't win this match.
That's
the reason why they lost that
the Samoan werewolf.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why they lost the last match was because the Usos got involved.
What's the Samoan werewolf doing in the sports entertainment zone?
And Solo got pinned. He got pinned in that last match. He's taking a win this time. That's what I think.
You know what I think is the best part of this whole Bloodline story? No one's talking about Roman and Rock anymore. Like, that was the match that everyone was like, oh, this match has to happen.
Well, but I mean, like,
it's not going to happen.
Once it wasn't happening in Hollywood, it's like, okay, we're done.
Right. But I think that's the best part of this, is that no one's still hearkening on, like, oh, that big match is going to be Roman and Rock. Like, now we've moved so far away from that point where it's like, now we can focus on the Bloodline story. I want to ask, before we move on, Roman and Jay is still probably going to be like the SummerSlam match. Could you see them including Jimmy and Solo at all in the match? Maybe doing a triple threat, Roman, Jay, Jimmy, or a fatal four-way with the four of them. Nah. Could you see that at all? Because the fact that they're keeping this match under wraps and there's two finishes that they're trying to figure out which one they're going to go with.
You could do three finishes, honestly, but
yeah, you could.
Well, it depends what the finishes are. Like, it could be something that Solo fucking turns on Roman.
Right.
Like, holy shit.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I don't know. Maybe they could include the other members of the Bloodline in some capacity. The Broadcast is with us. Thank you for checking us out.
Bro.
Stick around. Let us know what you think of Money in the Bank. I don't understand why they're keeping the... I'm expecting something big now. If you do something like this, it's going to have to be a big finish. You can't just have,
Rikishi.
Rikishi.
It's probably going to be another. I mean, probably another major turn.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's Roman and Solo at SummerSlam. Maybe that's the match.
Maybe the brothers actually align and attack. Maybe someone changes their mind. Doesn't want to be with doesn't want to be a twin anymore.
Whoa.
And maybe it's the twin that you're thinking of, that you're not. I mean, that you should be thinking of, but it might be the other twin.
Changed my mind.
We kind of alluded to this. Well, Seth kind of alluded to this, that you see the scenario where, they lose the Usos, and then the real person that they had in mind to be the next tribal chief was Jimmy.
Yeah, I heard that. That's pretty good.
Jay was being strung along because easy manipulator. The manipulated anyway in that.
Oh, I like that.
Jay and Jimmy at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be good.
I want to see we also potentially you could have Cody Rhodes versus,
because he's man, there's so many, we could probably we gotta probably run out of time, but so much stuff you can go down, like with Jimmy being like that strong-willed one, kind of like Roman. And Jay's not that. He's not mentally like that. Jimmy's like that though. Jimmy would be a perfect replacement or to be the next head of the table. And maybe Roman sees that. And maybe they were stringing Jay along the whole time.
Well, if we do remember, Jimmy Uso is nobody's bitch.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So, like, maybe that's what Roman's looking for. Like, I like this. He doesn't fall in line so easy. But Jay falls in line. He falls in line real easy.
That bitch right there, that's my bitch. Oh, God.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they end this one because they got to top that Night of Champions finish. So, and that shit was crazy.
There are so many moments that we're like, how are they going to top this one? And they have topped them. That it's like
this one. I'm not sure.
Put out a report that you're keeping this, hidden. It's like, all right, well, this has to be the biggest one yet, and I don't know how they could do that.
I feel like Paul Heyman has to be involved somehow, but I just don't know.
Maybe
how they do it. I don't know what he does. I don't know who he sides with. I don't know. But our predictions are in, and now it's time to talk about the moment we've all been waiting for.
Money, 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 money.
Money. The two big Money in the Bank matches. Money.
Hey, so if one of you guys win, do I have to mail this to you?
Oh, true.
Yeah,
all right, wait. We haven't decided. Are we doing this for the title? For this prediction?
Yeah. You do it for the
so
title.
The runner-up's going to get Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's how we did it last time.
Is that what we did?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, whoever.
I thought the predictions was just for Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
do.
yeah.
We do the whoever wins.
Title's on the
obviously,
line.
Wins
We're
the title's always on the line.
Also, Money in the Bank is on
Yeah.
the
So
line.
whoever is a champion wins completely, and then whoever comes close to that gets the Money in the Bank briefcase and can cash it at any time.
Well, this is good. So this means that there's no chance that J-Bone has both the Money in the Bank and the title. So this is a good scenario.
Yeah, no, he's walking away.
Maybe it was good for you to cash in tonight.
So he could come in second place and still get the Money in the Bank briefcase back.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
That's,
true.
That's scary.
Yeah. Well, it's not guaranteed that he wins
and then
on the
cash
second
it
cash
again.
in.
And then
Does
cash it
lightning
right away.
strike twice. That's the
This
question.
is scary. This Money in the Bank's a scary prediction. time
Scary
for us.
game for only the strongest willed.
Right.
All right, let's talk the ladder matches.
Which
Start with the
one?
women.
Ooh.
Io Sky, Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, Bailey, Zelina Vega, and Becky Lynch all will be in the women's Money in the Bank match. I think this one is way harder to predict than the men's match.
It is.
I don't think it is actually at all, but
Of course you don't. All right, let's go to you. Who's going to walk out Mrs. Money in the Bank?
so if you look at the three competitors, three of the competitors are in a feud together, right?
All right, we said that last week. Yep.
Right. We got Zoe, Trish, and Becky. I think they're going to cancel each other out. Boom.
Okay.
Said
Okay.
that last week.
So
You're listening to the program, I see.
no, I'm listening to my thoughts.
Okay, yeah. That's a first.
Now you got Bailey, Zelina Vega, and Io Sky. Okay. Bailey doesn't need it, so throw her out. So we're down to Zelina Vega, Io Sky. Gotta go with Io here. Just makes too much sense. So I got Io Sky winning.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go next. Like I said, for me at least, this was tough because I thought, Marco, we were talking last week about how Shotzi was gonna get a replacement spot, and
They scrapped that. Vince McMahon was like, "No way, pal. That's stupid."
Who the hell is
It was kind of because
Shotzi?
we did kind of talk about how dumb that idea was. Like, why would Bailey just put her spot up for no reason?
Right.
And then,
So
It's time to shake things up around here.
thank you, Vince, for jumping in there and saying
got to shake things up.
shit show that Triple H.
Well, so this keeps Bailey and Io in the match.
Yeah.
Which also throws off my prediction from last week because I figured Bailey would cost Io.
Yeah.
And that would,
She could still cost Io.
she still could. You see, I don't know how I feel about this match because there's going to be a lot of teams working together. You got the feud mixed in. There's only one person in this entire match that isn't associated with someone in some capacity, and that's Zelina. And even they've tried to turn Bailey, Io, and Zelina into a feud. And, it's like split down the middle, which I'm not a fan of, but whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
My brain is telling me to go with Io. But I got to think of how the champions are working. Because if Bianca was still champion, this would be different. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go Io to win this match. I was this close to picking Trish. Because if Bianca was still champion, then I think you would have had Bianca and Trish as the match at SummerSlam. Trish does the cash in there. But because it's Asuka and Rhea, it doesn't really work. And also Bianca's on SmackDown now, so that negates everything. So I think Io needs it the most. I'm also hearing rumors that whoever cashes in, it's going to be a failed cash in. So that might be where Bailey turns on Io. Bottom line is Bailey's going to turn on Io. I think that's going to happen. It just depends on when. So I think Io will win at Money in the Bank. It'll be a good moment. Cash in. Io versus Asuka, which is fun.
Yeah.
And then Bailey interferes, and then we get that feud going on. And
we're forgetting that there's a match on SmackDown with Charlotte and Asuka.
Oh fuck, you're right. Yeah.
So we're not sure if Asuka's gonna have the title.
That's
which
true.
I'm thinking it's gonna bring. I think that match is gonna be 15-time champion.
God, 15.
That's what I'm thinking. No, she's gonna be. Everyone's talking about John Cena and Randy Orton.
Yeah, it's gonna be her.
It's gonna be Charlotte to break the record.
What?
Why is that so funny?
That's great.
I love that one.
Oh man,
Good job.
man. I'm gonna go totally left field.
Uh-oh.
Because it's gonna be because we're talking about failed cash-ins, and you guys are thinking you're thinking Io, Bailey's gonna do this. I'm thinking failed cash-in. I'm going Becky Lynch winning. Failed cash-in. Trish stops her from winning.
All right.
All right.
Going
All
Becky
right.
Lynch. Because it's still in a
Good
feud.
pick, pal. Good pick.
She could still win, and she could still cash in and fail against Rhea, because Trish can come in and Zoe Stark and stop that shit from happening. So I'm gonna go with Bex. I'm gonna go with big time Bex,
Tom Bex.
and she's never won it before, so that's another thing.
I like it.
Here's a bonus question that we did last year that I would like to bring back.
All
Hold
right.
on. Wait, who was your pick again, young Anthony?
Io.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right.
Who is the first person to touch Money in the Bank briefcase? That was a fun one last year.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
I was watching Money in the Bank from last year because it was on like one of the WWE Peacock channels, and I was watching the women's match, and I saw Shotzi touch the briefcase first, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" because I picked her to touch the briefcase first.
I'm gonna go with Zoe.
Okay.
All right, I'm going with Bailey.
I think I picked Bailey last time to do that. I'm gonna go with not Zoe, Zelina.
That's
All
a good. I was torn between them two because I can see Zelina like, all of them are fighting because they're
She
all in their
runs up.
feuds, and Zelina's
Yeah.
just I can see that. I'll go with Bailey.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time This match is really just a one-on-one. It's Logan Paul versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
No, but they also had the courtesy to include 5 other men. Damian Priest, Butch, Santos Escobar, Shinsuke, and Ricochet were also thrown into the one-on-one match. But it's LA Knight versus Logan Paul. Apparently, Damian Priest is also being heavily considered to win this match, which is out of left field.
Not really.
No, it's out of left field.
I don't think it is.
I'm sorry. I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't hate it if they gave this win to Damian. Because Judgment Day, could use some
Think of
big
all the
wins.
clapping he can do with that case.
Yeah,
he could clap the briefcase. Or he could clap people with the briefcase.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We did the clap.
We got the clap.
That's got to be a drop.
Shout out to forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah. This is interesting. Actually, I want to go last if that's okay with you guys, because
That's fine. I'll go first. I'll take the burden here on this one. So when they included Logan into the match, I was like, well, this sucks. That means LA Knight's not winning. But I think they're just doing this to divert the attention away from LA Knight, because let's be real. If this match didn't have Logan Paul, it's a clear favorite, and they can't even hide that fact. It was like it would be 100% LA Knight. So including Logan in this match, it gives you a legitimate second contender. It's like, okay, Logan could technically win this because he has the podcast that he could put the briefcase on. And, he's got the spot with the Prime, and he's a star.
he could put his Charizard card in there.
He could put his Pokemon cards in there. He could do a lot of things with that briefcase.
Just the thought of a grown man with Pokemon cards. As I got toys in the back, laughing about that. But yeah, anyways.
But I think this was done to divert the attention away from LA Knight just a little bit, to give you a little bit of doubt that maybe he wouldn't win this. I'm a little hesitant that they are giving Logan another loss in a row. However, I think if they do this smart, they can start up another feud for Logan Paul for after Money in the Bank, instead of just giving him a win here. So I'm going with LA Knight to win. I think if not now, then it's never, ever going to happen. He is fucked if they don't give him this Money in the Bank.
You going with LA Knight, you said?
I'm going with LA Knight.
I can't wait to get to my rant.
Oh, Jesus.
Marco.
Yeah. LA Knight. Yeah.
So you're going for I think you said it's a one-on-one match between LA Knight and I would have went with a Ricochet thing, because that's what they were really going for, is the highlight reels of Ricochet and Logan doing all the crazy.
No, I'm saying just winners, like the people that are going to win.
You can't throw out Damian Priest, though, dude.
Yeah,
We talked about this on the Chick Foley show, man.
You can't.
He could win. It could be. So here's a scenario that I cooked up. He could win. Dominic could win, and Finn Balor's the loser out of the three. And he's been kind of on the outs with the Judgment Day. He hasn't really been with them. They can kind of cast him aside and say, "Look, we won our matches. We did what we had to do going in. You're not pulling your weight."
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Why would you want to break up the Judgment Day?
I'm not saying break up the Judgment Day. I'm just saying,
yeah, but even tease it,
not even break it up. Kick out Finn Balor. The Judgment Day is really Dominic, Rhea, and Damian Priest. Let's be honest. Finn Balor hasn't really been with them at all. When you see them come out, it's always just them three. When you see them on social media, it's just them three for the most part. It's really, and they all got matching tattoos except for Finn Balor. I could see them easily casting him out, but regardless, he's not my pick. Damian Priest. My pick is the obvious, and it's Logan Paul, dude. It's fucking Logan Paul. And here's why. And we talked about this last night.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Me and Jordan were the only ones that picked Logan Paul.
Yeah.
But out of the, we're not really doing predictions over there, but we just we're giving our thoughts. It's the same thing as Brock when he won it. You don't have to be on TV. You don't have to flaunt the briefcase. You don't have to see that briefcase every week in and week out. That briefcase is supposed to be like when is this gonna happen? We don't know when this dude's lurking around. We don't know when this person's gonna appear and just take my title away. And I only say this because I don't see LA Knight cashing in on Roman or fucking Seth Rollins. I don't think he's on the level yet to do that. Personally,
Not even Seth?
No, not even close. That star power, no, not even. Yes, he's the crowd's chanting and doing the LA Knight shit, but as far as no, he's not.
But that's the whole point of Money in the. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but that's the whole point of Money in the Bank.
Nope, you're wrong there.
No,
That's
the wrong
the
point.
opposite point. Actually.
Yeah, that's the opposite point. The Money in the Bank to me has always been a heel gimmick.
Thank you.
The heel is supposed to be the one. A babyface doesn't need to win Money in the Bank. Like a babyface should be able to get a title shot when they need it.
All right.
A heel, on the
so
other
you're
hand,
considering LA Knight a baby. All right, fine.
Yeah, you're considering he's a babyface because he technically is. A heel now is a conniving, sneaky son of a gun. All right. I'm not going to say the B word because it could be either woman or man. But anyway, you shouldn't know that person's move. Like I shouldn't see the Money in the Bank winner every single week. It should be like a heist. Like I come in, I take that fucking briefcase, and you don't know when I'm going to fucking pop up again. I could pop up on a SmackDown. I could pop up on Raw. I could pop up at the end of, I don't know, fucking WrestleMania 40 and cash it in. And I think it's this part J-Bo, we kind of talked about this already. The Prime, he could turn the case into a Prime advertisement. He's gonna fucking win it, dude. There's no Vince McMahon called this motherfucker and said, "You're in it because you're gonna win it." That's why he's in it.
Hey, pal, what you doing on July 1st?
They made a last-minute decision to add this dude on the behest of LA Knight, which they didn't really care about in the first place. No, he's winning that shit, dude.
I'll debate it once J-Bone gives his.
So here we go.
argument.
So this is why I wanted to go last. I know a lot of people want LA Knight to win this, including the young puke. And look, I get it. He's a favorite, but this is exactly. And don't take offense to say anything, but to me, this is why when you hear wrestlers talk about fans don't know anything or whatever. Okay, and I'm not saying you don't know anything, so I'm not. Don't
but you're right. Yeah.
I don't know anything either.
Don't take offense to this. But what I'm trying to say is, this is I see the forest beyond the the trees behind the forest. Because for you to have first of all, LA Knight, like Marco said, he's a babyface, and they're not. He's not.
They're still positioning him as a heel,
right? And I think this is a great opportunity to make that flip, because you can have LA Knight he's climbing slow and getting to the top, and the fans are chanting, yeah, and he's got the briefcase both in hands, goes to unclasp it, and wham, Logan Paul knocks him over, grabs the briefcase. Not to mention, I picked Logan Paul to win this back after WrestleMania.
He did. He
did.
Remember that.
So that's another reason why I'm going this. But I think this is going to elevate LA Knight, actually, not bring him down. Because if you give him the briefcase, what's he going to do? Cash in on Seth and lose?
Cash in on
Roman and lose.
He definitely would.
Yeah. That will hurt him. This is going to give him what a babyface needs, and that's sympathy. Sympathy. He needs sympathy.
Some sympathy.
And this is what This is what LA Knight needs, and then they can make that switch. Also, you can then get him away from Escobar and any other baby faces right now, and at the same time, and then begin to elevate him. In the baby face realm. I mean, you could do Logan Paul versus LA Knight at SummerSlam. You
could.
You could, yeah.
And then LA Knight could get his win back in that regard, and then that's going to elevate LA Knight again.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you just see Logan Paul on his fucking podcast with the briefcase, dude. Like, he's like the. I mean, next to Roman, he's probably like the biggest star because we talk about big stars and stuff like that. Like, in his star power outside of the WWE, and just him carry that briefcase around and. Yeah, dude. And like I said, Brock did the same thing. He won it and really didn't show up on TV. You didn't know when he was going to show up. It was just like, a match, a championship match finish, and it was like, and then he just comes out with the briefcase. You're like, holy shit, Brock's back. It's gonna be like Logan Paul.
And if anybody that look,
it's gonna be Seth. He's gonna cash it on too and win.
Look how much like LA Knight was been held down, and he's overcame it. So like. This is just a blimp on the radar.
Yeah,
versus what he's going through. Max Dupree beat that. And of course, he had Triple H's help, with that.
Yeah.
But still beat it. The Fiend feud, like we were like, oh my God, what are they doing to him? Overcame that. Still over after that.
Yep.
So this is a blimp on the radar. And I'll also say people that say that, well, Logan didn't have any qualifying matches. This is bullshit. Dude, y'all are getting worked, dog. Y'all are getting worked big time because that's how you build a heel. That you are when you say, "Oh, I don't like that guy because of something they did on TV." Dude, that's being worked 101, So if you want to change your mind, go ahead.
No, I'm not changing my mind. I'm going to tell you why. I get your points about, you want that sympathetic, you make him into a sympathetic babyface. First of all, they haven't even scratched the surface on trying to present LA Knight as a babyface. He is still completely heel. It's just the fans are cheering him.
Exactly.
That's one thing.
I see, but see this interaction with Logan. That was babyface written all over it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for one interaction with Logan, there were also multiple with other baby faces as a heel. So it could just be his personality.
But it's because he's been in this program with Escobar too. So I mean,
true.
You have to finish off that program. You can't just oh well, let's make that disappear, which they've done. They have done that in the past, and we complain about that.
Also, I understand the whole sympathetic baby face. You want him to take those losses. First, I mean, he's been taking losses to begin with. But why do we need LA Knight to be a sympathetic baby face when he is under Roman, under Gunther, under maybe one or two others that I can't think of off the top of my head? Probably the most eye-catching heel that they have. Why would you turn him into a sympathetic babyface?
Because of how the crowd reacts.
If you want to turn him into a babyface, that's fine. But why would you make him sympathetic? Why do we have to believe in LA Knight? He's this huge over-the-top personality. Why does he have to be?
You can't make the babyface just be this powerful being.
All right, wait. So I ask this because obviously I wasn't watching during the time. Was The Rock ever a sympathetic babyface?
Yeah, I would say after he lost to Triple H in the ladder match, that's how he became a babyface, to be honest.
Yeah. But did he ever lose that confidence? Did he ever start cutting promos where he was like, maybe?
Well, I think sympathetic is the wrong word. I think you're looking for they're not looking for sympathy. It's more or less like
a loser. That's what you're trying to turn him into. A fucking
no, not even that.
No.
It's like
he loses this match. Hold on. If he loses this match, what else is there for him to do? He's 40 years old.
Beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
That's a step down. That's the same thing as
He's not. So I think you put him in the main event status.
when I
He's
tried
not-
pitching, maybe Cody beats Gunther for the IC title. Oh, that's a step down. That's a
I
step
think
down.
That is a step down.
right, but it's the same thing for LA Knight.
No, it
because he's
isn't.
not
Cody.
He's
On
not
Seth
even as
Rollins.
over.
Let's get this out of the way.
He's
You
not as
can't
over
cash
as
in on
Cody,
Roman.
dude.
I understand. No one can cash in on Roman. You can absolutely cash in on Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
100%.
He's not up there yet.
He's
But
not
that's
there
what
yet.
I'm saying. If you
he's
build
not
him
that
as
guy,
a
though.
heel,
No, but
you
he has
can-
to be built more. That's what we're saying. Like he has
right. That's why you give him money in the bank.
No,
Okay,
that doesn't
okay.
help him win though. Like doesn't help him.
Then
that
let me-
doesn't
let
help
me-
build him. At
Let me
all.
paint this picture then, okay? Okay, then he wins. Okay,
Right.
They keep him as a heel, but he's still presented by the audience doing the LA Night and yeah, and all that crap.
Mhm.
All right,
Right.
he cashes in on does a sneaky cash in on Seth,
Mhm.
and then the fans are chanting LA Night, but then he's not been booked as a babyface, and then you have your world champion who's being presented as a heel, but yet the fans are cheering him. Makes it very confusing.
Well, at that point, he's got the title. You could do whatever the fuck you want with him.
No,
You need him to be that heel so that you
No.
could cash in on Seth.
You can't have
No.
two heel champions. Why would
Yeah.
you want to have two heel champions?
No, you could.
you could, but
Eh,
You have
You
two
could.
heel women's champions right now.
yeah.
but that's neither here nor there. It just to me, it doesn't do him any favors.
No, I think he just needs to be built more. I don't think he's ready to win.
Yeah,
any
he's
big
almost
matches yet.
there. He's close. He's really close.
But what do
He needs a good feud
He's a good feud. Yeah,
to go in.
good top.
He needs a
level
good feud to be in before he gets catapulted to anything.
because
He hasn't been any good feuds yet.
especially if you have Vince in the creative table still, because
Yeah.
he's got to be proved. LA Knight's got to prove Vince right as well too here.
Yeah.
So he's obviously on. Triple H has got his back, but if you put him, if Triple H says, "All right, look, Vince, okay, I get it. He's 40 years old. He's old. You don't have much years. Okay, whatever that Vince is saying. Okay, let's have him lose here. Book him in a match against Logan at SummerSlam, and have him go over there, and let's see what happens. Because it won't hurt Logan to lose that match. It's only going to elevate LA Knight, and then you could show Vince or whoever's kind of holding him down, like why you've got to push this guy even more so.
Yeah.
But just give him the briefcase as a point. Look at Big E. Big E, he was over like Rover when he won the briefcase, won the title, and because it just didn't hit the same. Doesn't hit the same. This is a heel match. This is a
Big
match
E
for heels
was
to win.
that was a product of bad booking on his world title reign.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's all
That
happened
had
with LA
nothing to
Knight.
do with the momentum. LA Knight has all the momentum.
Yeah, but you're going to kill the momentum. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Not if you put him in some good feuds.
He has. That's what we're saying. He has to
That's
be in
why
feuds
he's got
As
before-
a champion, I'm saying.
No, that doesn't work.
No.
That's working
Yes,
backwards.
it does
You're
work.
putting
Oh
you're
my
putting
God.
you're putting a band-aid on a 3-inch cut.
Yeah, he has to
You
prove
know?
himself.
So
dude.
you're in a situation right now. All right, sure. Maybe you put the US title on LA Knight. That is such a step down. I'm sorry.
He hasn't
but-
won any titles yet. How's that a step down?
Because you've already presented him. Everyone sees him as the top, not the top.
He doesn't have to
guy.
win a
He's not
title.
that's the thing. Like you're kind of putting him with like the Seth Rollins. He's not in that level at all. He's not even at Cody. Like as far as like over goes, like
As
he's
far
not
as
in,
well, what do you
No.
define that as? Talent? Do you define it as
He's upper middle.
just
right
star
now.
power, like star power in general. Just like
right? But when do you think you're going to get him to that spot? Unless you
He has to
start
be in a good
taking those
feud.
leaps and
He's
booking
got to
him
be in
the
a good
proper
feud.
way.
You just said it.
he has to be in a good. He hasn't been in a feud yet. He hasn't feuded with anybody.
So how
just-
many feuds until you can put him in the main event?
I don't know, 1, 2. I don't know.
So
I don't think there's a number. I mean, you have to know how you have to get the crowd at a fever pitch to a point where they like put the title on him now, right now. Let's do this. It's not there yet.
Yeah, no.
You still have Seth and you have Roman.
I don't know. I still think
They're close.
this
They're
isn't.
close.
I think this is completely different than the Cody situation, because Cody, it was everyone was cheering for Cody. They wanted him to win the title, and then they diverted everyone's attention. They went to Roman, and at the time we were like, "This sucks. Why would they do this? Why would they choose Roman over Cody?" But now you're seeing the gradual build up for Cody. You're getting him some losses. This is completely different. You are talking about someone who the fans are very much invested in and doesn't have a year to build up.
You just answered your own question.
No, I'm telling you,
they don't
have
care
that
about
time. You don't have a year to build up LA Knight. You have maybe a month, but you're going to risk a month to take the Money in the Bank. You can give him a good feud and keep the Money in the Bank on him.
The machine has to be behind him, and they're not behind him.
I'll also say this: the Money in the Bank briefcase has also lost some steam.
Oh yeah, no, it
over
has.
the last couple of years. So this is another reason why you got to put it on Logan Paul to get that steam back on it.
Look, I can absolutely see them putting it on Logan Paul. I was agreeing with you earlier on, whenever we were talking about it last year or a few months ago when we were talking about Logan Paul winning Money in the Bank. I just feel like you include him this late in the match, this late in the build up to the match. I feel like this is just a way to kind of divert the attention away from, which is what they're doing right now, a diversion away from LA Knight.
See, now I think they put him in there because they're not ready to give LA Knight anything.
Historically, Money in the Bank winners don't win much to begin with until they get that big championship win.
Let me put
Which
it
is Logan
this
Paul.
way.
He hasn't won anything.
Let's look at Daniel Bryan. Okay.
All right.
Had Daniel Bryan won the 2015 Royal Rumble, like everybody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or even the 2014 Royal Rumble, like everybody wanted. There's no yes movement, no nothing. He walks into WrestleMania as the contender. That match doesn't hit the same. Okay, but he lost the Royal, or he wasn't even in the Royal Rumble to begin with. But he then this fever pitch of, oh, Daniel Bryan's got to be in there, because it's kind of the same situation, not as heavy, but the same situation where people are like, oh, look, LA Knight's got to be the guy. He's got to be the guy. He's got to be the guy. And same thing. Daniel Bryan's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. And we got the yes movement. Now we could get the yeah movement.
Yeah,
how many times could you do this though? That this guy is
loved
by the fans.
That's wrestling.
It's just starting to people have been catching on for it hasn't been like a month. Like it just started like getting gradually big. Like with Daniel Bryan, that started like the SummerSlam before, like the year before. Like that was like a whole, like that was months and months ahead before like that. So like you can't, don't mess up, dude. If they give him the briefcase, it's gonna ruin him. He's starting to gain steam.
I feel like that it's gonna hurt him if you give him the briefcase.
Yeah.
I completely disagree.
He becomes,
if they give him this briefcase, you are going to see him skyrocket. I think this briefcase is the only way that he can finally reach, maybe not top main event, but at least very high upper mid card.
I mean, I would argue he's there already.
Yeah, if he's good, he doesn't need the briefcase. That's another thing. If he's
as good as, there's nothing else going on for him.
But if the fans are so like bad, like they back
Logan
so much,
Paul, and then what?
No, what I'm saying is, so if the fans are so into him and they're backing him so much, you don't have to worry about him not having a briefcase to be successful, right? Like he should be able to just do what he's doing now, just continue to gradually do it, and then
I don't know. LA Knight is not like we always said guys like The Undertaker never needed the world championship. LA Knight is not one of those guys. He needs a title, and it shouldn't be the US title.
Yeah,
it needs to be the Intercontinental title. He needs to defeat Gunther.
Yeah, he needs a mid card title, dude.
Why?
Gunther?
Why couldn't he be Gunther?
Because it's the longest Intercontinental Championship reign. You're not going to have.
And guess what? That will get him over.
Yeah, that'll work.
He's on SmackDown anyway, so it's going to end up. If it's going to
that's
be a
right. I'm sorry.
championship,
I
it's
forgot he's on.
going to be Austin Theory, and it's
All
not
right.
going to mean jack shit because Austin Theory has been an awful U.S. champion.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
That
maybe
is why I'm so against it. If
maybe
it was
they'll
the
make a
Continental
trade.
Title, maybe
I
I'd
don't
be
know.
more for it. But the fact that he's going to win the U.S.
Fair point.
title,
No, I wouldn't put the U.S. title on him. I would just put him in. You put him in feud with Solo for a while, like get him built up towards Roman or something.
I think he needs a title. Yeah, he needs like The Rock did it, Triple H did it, Stone Cold did it. They all had titles, like the Intercontinental Championship or some type of mid card title that they used to work and get themselves over, and then moved on to that. I don't think the Money in the Bank briefcase is what is going to help him. He's already doing his thing. He doesn't need. I don't think he needs anything right now. He's like
he did this for WrestleMania that you guys were egging me on to pick Roman, and then I ended up sticking with Cody. It's not. It's not.
I'll pick Cody too.
It's not happening this time.
Now it's gonna be Logan, dude. So
Someone should have picked like Santos just to really throw us off.
No.
All right, who's touching?
Yeah,
the briefcase?
come on. Now let's talk about the real shit. Who's touching the briefcase first?
LA Knight.
No, I'll give you this one. Logan Paul will touch the briefcase first.
Oh my god!
No, I'm going LA Knight's touching.
I'm going Ricochet.
All right, good for you, pal. Ricochet just threw a fist in the air for your pick.
The only time Ricochet will exit my mouth.
Jeez.
All right. Was there anything else that we had to do before we wrap this up? So first place is the champ. Second place is Money in the Bank.
Yeah, we got a good we got a good mixture here. Anything can happen in the RAWDOWN.
That's very true. All right. Any closing remarks before we shut out this episode?
Oh,
I'm keeping this title.
Has anyone bought Fight Forever? How's the game? Has anyone
I don't even own a gaming console.
Oh, we know you. You're
I'm still on Nintendo.
jeez. I like it. It's
Super
fun.
Nintendo comes out.
Oh, you got it, Marco?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a nice
I'm on the fence. I haven't.
it's an
decided
arcade style type game, kind of like the N64 games like No Mercy and NWO versus the World or WCW and NWO versus the World, with those types of games. It's like I said, it's a fun time. It's not anything deep or anything like that. But
right.
I enjoy it. I mean, from what I'm playing now, it's pretty decent. I didn't know you could walk out with like 5 belts at once.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. You can
That's pretty
beat
fun.
I faced like Ricky Starks because he was the FTW champion at the time when they made the game, and I didn't know it was automatically for the title. So I ended up winning a title. I was like, holy shit! And now that was I was using CM Punk, so now I'm just gonna make CM Punk win every single title, and he's just gonna walk out with 5 titles.
Go
and
for it.
Then I'm gonna send the video to the Phelpses because they love seeing CM Punk win. So. They haven't. What I do like about it is they do intergender matches as well, so that's pretty cool. Can't do that
All
with
right.
WWE. They block you from doing that.
WWE.
Apparently, the creator wrestler is awful. I'm seeing
Yes, I've seen a couple of those.
I haven't seen any. I haven't tried it out yet.
Somebody tried to make Matt Cardona and Brian Myers was like, woof.
someone
Yeah.
tried to make Roman. And it was my
I
god.
saw that one too.
It's more cartoon. Yeah, it's not
bad.
it's not in depth like 2K is. It's like
Yeah,
it's really
like the
not,
cartoony doesn't even get to me. It's just the fact that even with it being cartoony, it looked god awful. They
There's
look
a-
like 12 years old. Those fucking creations.
It's there's a lot of pro wrestling teases in it, PWTs,
Nice.
so you can rock some PWTs gear, as well as Meltzer's ratings are in there, so you can.
Oh my god.
That's how you win
Great.
money, is you have to have like a 7-star match, as actually Mike Belcaster showed us.
Damn,
I think the highest I got was I got 4.5.
you
on a match.
suck, Marco.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Put you
Yeah.
in the Tokyo Dome.
Meltzer would poo me if he's seen that rating.
You couldn't even book yourself out of a paper bag, boy.
That's funny.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, there's your review of AEW Fight Forever, out now. But with all that being said,
Hey, yo.
folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Raw Down. J-Bone, it's been a while since we've heard your plugs.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
I've kind of been getting readjusted because I had some personal things kind of come up. So I will have a new episode next week. I might do like a little like post Money in the Bank review show. So just stay tuned. Head over to comingdowntheaislepod.com and head over to Coming Down the Aisle on Instagram for all that info. So.
All right. And Marco.
I mentioned earlier, a new episode of the Chick Foley Show is out now. Everywhere, chickfoley.com to listen. We recap, what do you call it? Why am I forgetting? Forbidden Door. We do a quick recap on that, as well as we talk Money in the Bank, just like we did, not as in depth as we did tonight, but kind of like a speed round type deal. Obviously, figure reveals that happen. A lot of new MOC stuff that they're presenting to us on the Mattel side. I believe there is some type of reveal happening this weekend in London. Bill McKenna is out there.
Oh, Bill McKenna.
Yeah, so he's out there. So I'm not sure what they're going to reveal, but we've seen some new reveals with the Usos 2-pack. Looks actually pretty sick. I
love the J&J Uso.
The J, yeah, they were joking on that last night with all the J Uso heads. You get 6 J Usos. No, other than that, obviously join the Facebook group. I mean, I'm not sure if you can contend with me and J-Bone. We're sitting on the top of the prediction.
We are the tag team champions.
We are literally the tag team champions. Seth asked if we were in cahoots, if we got together and so basically we got the perfect card. We predicted every single match at Forbidden Door correctly and precisely. We were the only two in the entire group. So
we're smart. We're really smart.
I mean, everyone, here's what happened. A lot of people naysayed Orange Cassidy. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, big mistake.
And a lot of people naysayed Bryan Danielson.
Not a big mistake.
They thought he was going to lose against Okada, and I was like, hell no, he's not going to lose.
It's an AEW run show.
yeah. I wanted the mind of Tony Khan because he's.
I wanted the mind
like
of Vince McMahon.
I mean, Tony Khan's us. We just with a bunch of money, so I booked just like he did, and we got it correct. So we're sitting on the top of the world right now. But anyway, yeah. Join the group, man. It's fun. It's a good time. See if you can come in and beat me and J-Bone at the prediction.
Beat me.
The
if you can. Survive. If I let you.
But yeah, chickfoley.com.
All right. Yeah. Well, with all of that being said, folks, if you liked what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure that you head on down to the Turnbuckletavern.com for all of your tavern finds. Listen to the podcast and watch the videos and follow us on all of our social media platforms to get the latest on the Turnbuckle Tavern. You can buy all of our merch at prowrestlingtees.com/tavern to get all the Tavern Mates exclusive shirts, and then go to Teespring via theturnbuckletavern.com to get your RAWDOWN merch. And finally, you can call the tavern at 304-404-2004. Hear your message played on the flagship show. Let us know what you thought of this week's RAWDOWN. The only way that you can do so is by calling 304-404-2004. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the RAWDOWN. We will see you next week. Same time, same place. But until then, as always,
Life sucks, and then you die.